Yo, Hegassen here, and here we go. One Piece Manga Chapter 968, my review, and I do apologise straight away that this is a little bit delayed. As I said before, I've got a brand new job, so it's a little bit harder for me to upload kind of consistently, and this week there's been some emotional stuff, some personal stuff, but I'm always going to find time for One Piece, so here you go, here's my review, and this chapter, I don't know, it's a bit mixed for me, really, because the chapter itself is quite mixed. It's kind of split into two halves. You've got the first half, which is following on from Roger and Oden going to Laugh Town, finding out kind of what happens next. And then the second half of the chapter is about Oden returning to Wano. And they both feel really different. Like, it kind of affects the pacing a little bit, because the pacing of the first half is really, really quick. Like, literally, like, blitzing kind of through it. It's like every panel is a slight different scene. Whereas when we get to the back in Wano, it's slowed down quite a lot, and it's much more of a slow conversation between Oden and Kinemon. So it just makes the pacing feel a little bit kind of unbalanced. Normally, as well, you get like all of the big reveals and stuff at the end of the chapter. You know, you kind of slowly build up into it. But this one, all of the stuff was like packed into that beginning bit. There were so many big reveals, so many like double takes. Like, what? Hang on. Let me just read that again. And then in the second half, you didn't really have as much of that. You found out kind of why Oden went towards Orochi and stuff, and you start to kind of get hints as to what's going to happen with Oden, how he's going to get killed, how Orochi is going to lay that trap. You find out that Kaido definitely is already there, but that's all you get. You don't get those big reveals. It ends with Oden running in to tackle down and confront Orochi, because Orochi, you found out that when Oden was away, there was kind of a resistance going on. They tried to fight Orochi, tried to get him out of power. Orochi hurt Oden's wife, Lady Toki, by an arrow, almost to the knee, to the leg. So Oden gets a bit mad, and he rushes in there, and you see Orochi is all like, no, I'm a weak old shogun, don't attack me. And you know it's like a Mace Windu Palpatine moment. You know that next week we're going to get that I am the Senate moment, and Orochi's going to get up, and the dragon heads are going to come out, because we know he's already got the devil fruit, and hopefully we're going to see that big fight. But it just ended with Orochi kind of cowering there, and I think we know that Orochi probably isn't that much of a slacker, you know. I think he can actually hold himself in a fight. Don't think he's Oden level, but when that dragon pops out, we don't know how powerful he is, so excited to see that. But that kind of ending didn't really match the stuff that we got at the beginning of this chapter. I kind of wish that they spent a little bit more time. This whole chapter was spent on the first half, and then we got this Kinemon, Orochi, and Oden stuff next week, with ending it with whatever happens next, with whatever happens with that I am the Shogun moment. So yeah, a little bit mixed of that, a little bit mixed with the pacing and everything of that. But let's talk about this first half, because the first half was really, really, really good. So it started off with Roger coming back from Laugh Town, and we find out that the Roger Pirates are disbanding. Why? Because everybody knows, the whole world knows about Roger going there, and we get revelations here that, you know, it was the newspapers that called Roger the Pirate King, and it was the newspapers and media and everything that came up with the title of The One Piece. And we know that other pirates and stuff were going after him. He is like the most wanted man. That's why the crew is kind of disbanded. Roger's gone and put himself away from his crew. He's only got like a year left, maybe a little bit less. And so he's going out, and he's kind of separating himself from his crew in a way to protect them. And we see Shanks as well come back, and he's crying because that news has already spread. It does make me question how that news spread so fast. Like, they've gone to Laugh Town, this island that is meant to be really hard to get to, really secluded, and then they're on their way back, and Shanks turns up with a newspaper telling them all of the news about what's happened. How's that spread? How's that information spread? Has like the world government got like surveillance Den Mushis all over Laugh Town or something? Like, who told all that information? Did someone from Roger's crew just couldn't keep their mouth shut and told them? Did a journalist turn up? Like, that's a bit strange how that information spread, but it's spread. The world government knows that Roger and the rest of the crew know a lot of the secrets, and we get another big hint about the One Piece here. Like I said, it's the media, it's the Marines and stuff that come up with the title of the One Piece, and the way it's worded here is that everything that Roger gained is called the One Piece, and that kind of makes me feel like the One Piece is that information that Joy Boy left, that information about the Void Century, the Will of Thee, all of that stuff, the Celestial Dragons. That tells me maybe kind of that is what the One Piece is, that one piece of information that is missing from the world, as opposed to maybe actually a treasure or like a single item. I always kind of thought it was a single item. Like I said last week, not really happy about that. I mean, we haven't still got confirmation as to what the One Piece is. We don't know what it looks like. We don't know what the information is. It could still be there's some treasure there as well, but kind of knowing or getting hints now as to what the One Piece is, for me, a little bit, it kind of removes that mystery of it. Now that I know that when they get to Laugh Tale, when Luffy gets to Laugh Tale, he's going to find out everything about the Celestial Dragons, Will of Thee, Void Century, all that stuff. I mean, we kind of knew that anyway, but knowing that Luffy's going to know that when he gets there, it's taken that mystery away from me just a little bit. So I'm not too happy about that. And the fact that the One Piece is kind of more of separate little things. I don't know. I'm still a bit mixed. Maybe when we get there and we find out there's going to be a big curveball. But that's got me a little bit mixed. And a few other things have got me a little bit mixed and confused as well in this chapter. But let's talk about some of these other revelations. I said that there were some like, what the double take moments. So let's talk about them. The first one is the one where we go kind of back to Fisherman Island. I think it's a flashback. I don't think they're travelling through it. I think it's like a flashback within the flashback of Roger remembering this stuff, because in the next scene we see him talking to Rayleigh. So let's talk about that scene, and let me read out what happens, because they're going past some Sea Kings, and Roger and Oden, they can obviously hear what the Sea Kings are saying, and the Sea King says, "The birthing is at hand. Our sovereign will soon be born," which I'm guessing is Shirahoshi, because she can control the Sea Kings, because she is the weapon. She is Poseidon. And another in a distant sea, they say. "The whales are delighted in anticipation of the day the two sovereigns shall meet again. We have been waiting so long, it's almost here, and surely all will go well this time. Just 10 years until the birth, and another 15 to grow." And then later in the next scene, we have Roger talking to Charlie. "Hey Charlie, when is the Mermaid Princess going to be born?" And she says, "In 10. So that confirms that one of them is Shirahoshi. And the other one, well, let's look at the wording again. "And another in a distant sea." Well, distant sea, north, south, east, west blues. I'm looking forward to the time they meet again. It's almost here. It's got to be Luffy, hasn't it? Surely the other one is Luffy. But the weird thing is, they're using the word sovereigns. Is Luffy royalty or something? Like, we don't know all about Dragon's past. We don't know about Im-sama. I mean, there are theories out there that Im-sama is somehow related to Dragon. Maybe they were husband and wife. Maybe Im-sama is Luffy's mum. So, is Luffy connected to the weapons? Uranus? I don't know what this means, but it was just one of those things you're reading through it and you're like, wait, what? What are they saying? Surely that person in the distant sea is Luffy. I can't really think who else it could be. The only other thing would be a distant sea. Maybe Vivi. Maybe, because that's a sovereign. I mean, or Rebecca, because I've always thought it was weird. And this isn't I don't think this is a theory, but I always think it's weird that you got the 3 princesses and you got the 3 weapons. And we already know that Shirahoshi is one of the weapons. And Vivi is kind of connected in a way Alabasta is connected to Pluton. We don't know about Uranus, and there's never been any hints about a weapon being at Dressrosa, but you got Rebecca, you got 3 princesses, they're all connected to Luffy. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's a little bit weird considering that one of these weapons is a ship, and Frankie knows the plans to it, so I'm not really saying that, oh, Vivi is the ship, but at least connected in some way, maybe. So could that be connected to Sovereign? But then if it was, you'd think that they'd mention the 3 sovereigns, unless the other sovereign is Uranus. Yeah, so I don't know, a lot to think about there. I mean, if Vivi is Pluton, I mean, weirder things have happened. We've had a woman in One Piece turn into a missile. But I think more it's the other sovereign is Luffy. maybe Luffy has some connection to royalty or something, because we don't know about his mother. Yeah, so that's interesting. I bet the Luffy Shirahoshi shippers are really enjoying them lines. So yeah, that was good. And then the next thing, literally on like the next page, I'll read this one out as well. We have Oden going back to Wano, and he's like, until this point there was a purpose of this country being closed, but now we must open its ports before the day that Joy Boy appears. And that was another one where it's just a line and you're like, until the day that Joy Boy appears. Okay, but wait, what? Joy Boy's dead, isn't he? Like, Joy Boy was from the past. We've seen his writings and stuff. He built the Ark and was connected to that Ark and stuff, right? So, and he left the thing at Laugh Tale. So, until the day that Joy Boy appears. Now, again, got to get that speculation going. Is Joy Boy not like a person? Is it like a title? Is it like a Willa D kind of thing? Is it something that gets passed on? And with something that I was reading just a moment ago about the Sovereigns, they mentioned, the Sea Kings mentioned, I hope it goes well this time. And then we got Joy Boy appearing again. Are we going to get some kind of reincarnation stuff coming in One Piece? I mean, there was already speculation about that with Rocksteady Zebek and Blackbeard. Maybe Blackbeard is like a reincarnation of Zebek. Maybe Zebek is part of him is kind of inside of Blackbeard, and that's why Blackbeard can have 2 devil fruits. And then again, we're getting kind of reincarnation hints here. Is Joy Boy someone that keeps appearing over time? Are these weapons people that keep appearing over time? The Sovereigns, you know. I don't know how I feel about this. When that Blackbeard Zebek speculation started coming out, I was getting like Black Zetsu, Kaguya vibes from Naruto. With this, I'm getting the kind of Ashura, Indra vibes, the Otsuki clan vibes, and I don't really want this in One Piece. This kind of history constantly playing, constantly repeating itself in a cycle until it gets broken. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't want it to be like Luffy and Blackbeard are like the same people going throughout time, and same with Shirahoshi and that. Maybe Lady Toki, because she's from the Void Century, maybe she knows some more of this information. It'd be interesting to say what she said before she died. But yeah, that Joy Boy stuff is very interesting, considering that we know Joy Boy lived in the past, and now he's here, and now Oden's talking about him as if he's coming here again. I mean, we kind of got that in Fishman Island as well, but it's just me remembering it, and I don't know. I don't know if I'm too happy about that. But it's interesting. It's definitely interesting. Let's see where it goes. But I think the arrows are all pointing to Luffy being some kind of Destiny child. I think we just need to find out who his mother is and where Dragon came from and stuff. And I'm sure all of that will come up later on. And maybe we're going to get a Joy Boy flashback. It'd be interesting as well to see if there were other Joy Boys as well in the past, because the Sea Kings did say, hope this time it goes well. The only other kind of person I can think of right now is maybe Nolan's, because we know a lot of Nolan's adventures, and he's kind of been a lot of places that Luffy has, Dressrosa, Skypiea. So maybe the original Joy Boy, then you had Nolan, and then it didn't quite work out with Nolan, and then you had Luffy, maybe. But yeah, Roger seems to know what the situation is, because he's talking about the fact that he's got to leave this legacy to someone else. Yeah, so lots of good information in this chapter, lots of good speculation, a little bit worrying speculation. So mixed feelings about this chapter. I'd say it's a mixed chapter overall. Just pacing alone, it was mixed. One half was cramped and really busy. The other half was a little bit slower and didn't really end in too big of a revelation. So I'm probably only going to give this one a purple tier, but it's good stuff to talk about, you know, and that's what I love about One Piece, that you got so much to talk about, and it's definitely given us a lot to talk about, whether you like it or you hate it. It's got people talking, and that's fantastic. So, and I am looking forward to next week's one with the Orochi stuff. I really, really want to see. I mean, it should be out today, actually. I say next week, it should be out today because I'm doing this so late. I really want to see Orochi's Orochi form and see it in action. So, yeah, good stuff, mixed feelings. Let's see where it goes. Hey, so thanks for watching. What did you think? Let me know about it in the comments below. And if you enjoyed my video, maybe give it a like, and if you really liked it, why not subscribe? You can follow me on Twitter, Instagram and Twitch. Oh, and here's a related video you might enjoy, and something more fresh. I've been Hegassen, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye!